Hi, my name is Doris and I'm a solicitor here in the UK, and I am here to discuss about leaseholds and why they're becoming more and more unsellable. So thousands of you have said that the media are saying that London flats are becoming unsellable. And you've asked me from my day-to-day experience, is this true or is the media overreacting? Well, I'm here to say the media is not overreacting. Roughly 22% of London flats are becoming unsellable or unmortgageable because of cladding issues, fire safety issues, skyrocketing service charges, and also earliest ground rent. So you've asked, when do buyers realize their flat is unsellable? And unfortunately, they find out during the transaction. Once the local authority searches return and a solicitor, myself, has reviewed the leasehold documentations, that's when it's found out that there's a building defects, and also from the surveyor survey, there would be building defects that are detected. Unfortunately, I had one case where this happened, and after we reviewed the leasehold documentations and also reviewed the searches, my client was not happy to proceed. Unfortunately, there was disbursements that were lost and your client still had to pay for that searches. So you've asked me what changes or what happens when your lease becomes below 80 years. And once your lease becomes below 80 years, that means the marriage value kicks in. And what that essentially means is that the landlord is entitled to 50% of the added value to your lease when you extend it. So this unfortunately means that lenders would find it hard to loan on a short lease because your lease is decreasing in value, and essentially that means that they would have less value to recuperate their loan when they possess. So question 4 is about identifying the problem with ground rent and also the Leasehold and Freehold Reform Act 2024. So what this means essentially is we're talking about the escalating ground rent clause in our leases. So what that is that your rent essentially increases every 10 years or every 25 years or 0.1% of the property value. This is an issue, and it's been resolved in the Act by capping and banning any ground rent on new leases. However, for existing owners of escalating ground rent, it does mean essentially further tribunals. With question 5, you've asked about cladding, EWS1 forms, and 11-meter buildings. For buildings over 11 meters, most lenders require a EWS1 form or government-backed developer remediation deed. In practice, many major high street lenders will outright decline mortgages on buildings without unresolved remediation or without proper developer certification. So essentially what that means, it leaves those properties to cash buyers. Question number 6, you've asked, where are the issues clustered? And these issues disproportionately cluster in new build high-rise developments, which hit hardest by cladding and service charge hikes. So, and also ex-local authority blocks, where major work bills from the local council can top £50,000. What are the 3 major documents I need to request from my solicitor? Number 1, the lease. You need to check the remaining terms of the lease and also the ground rent clauses. Number 2, 2 years of service charge statement accounts to see whether there was an increase in certain years and also help you manage how the service charge would be. And then the 3rd form you need to request from your solicitor is the EWS1 form and any risk assessments, fire safety assessments. What does a solicitor see that a buyer would miss? So buyers normally look at the price and location, whereas us solicitors will look at your legal obligations. So we'll flag restrictive alienation clauses. So these are usually your clauses that restrict you from subletting property or altering the property. And we'll look at clauses that dictate forfeiture. So that means that when you don't pay your service charge, your landlord, it can effectively forfeiture your lease, and which means you come in and repossess the property. So these aren't the important things that normally an ordinary buyer would miss. Red flags to weigh up in 2026. I'm going to mention 2 of them. A lease that's below 80 years, run away from it. And secondly, a freeholder that ignores communication, or a building management company that has a history of issuing Section 20 major work. So you're probably asking, Doris, after everything you've said, what do I do now? What's the most important step to take this week? Well, your most important step to take is to contact a leasehold solicitor or a solicitor that specializes in conveyancing and ask them to give you a valuation for a lease extension. Do not wait for it to go below 80 years because that would mean more cost for yourself. So I advise you to contact us today using the link below.